nightfall in the Pacific Northwest. It is the home to the Nike Hoop Summit, where stars become legends and their basketball lives take off as the elites from the United States take on the elite from the rest of the world. And we're glad to have you along for the ride. Welcome courtside, everybody. Noah Eagle, Robbie Hummel, Jordan Cornette. Should be a really fun atmosphere in here. We saw the women's game already earlier today. Now we've got the men, and it's just special when you've got your country across your chest.
No, it totally is. Anytime you get a chance to represent USA basketball or a team like the Team World, it means so much. You look at all the talent on the floor, the opportunity to prove yourself, to make a name for yourself, to come out here and have a great game and springboard you into whatever is next. This is a great opportunity for every player on the floor tonight.
High-level talent commits to some of the best schools in the country, and that's got to start on the United States side with A.J. Dybantsa and Cameron Boozer, just two of the absolute best.
Well, the U.S. team is absolutely stacked with high-end talent. A.J. Dybantsa, one of the best prospects we've seen in the last 20 years. Big-time athlete at 6'9", three-level scorer, has every physical tool that you could possibly want. The #2 player in his class. And as for Cameron Boozer, one of the great winners in high school basketball history, two-time National Player of the Year. Obviously, we know what his dad was able to accomplish, but also co-MVP of the McDonald's game. Both those guys, terrific talents in their high school class.
And they should be on full display. You saw the familiar name with Boozer. We're going to have a couple of those on the world side as well. Basketball royalty in the next generation out on the court. Kiyan Anthony, son of Carmelo. Taj Ariza, son of Trevor. Full display again.
Well, really cool to see former pros now with their kids making noise on the basketball court. Kiyan Anthony, a top 40 player, one of the great tough shot makers in his class. And as for Taj Ariza, only a junior, but being recruited by some big-time programs, a top 5 player in the class of 2026 at 6'8", a lot of ability right there.
Look at the starting lineups on either side. So Anthony and Ariza will come off the bench. They will be major factors. But Alozie, Sarr, Yesufu, Markovic, and Rive will be the 5 for the world. As for the U.S., Acup, one of the top 5 prospects in this year's recruiting class, along with Michael Brown Jr., A.J. Dybantsa, Nate Amen, and Cameron Boozer. His twin brother Caden will come off the bench for the United States. And head coach Frank Bennett, head coach at Chaminade Prep in St. Louis, has coached elite talent like Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum. Marshall Cho, who's an Oregon alum, graduated in 2000, head coach of the world team at the Nike Hoop Summit here for the 2nd consecutive year, had volunteered with USA Basketball often since 2012, and has coached his own top-tier talent, including being the head coach at Lake Oswego High School in Oregon, which is the school that when Kevin Love went to many years ago.
Also was an assistant coach at DeMatha. You think about all the talent that's come through that. So Marshall Cho, no shortage of talent that he's coached.
We see that they are all set. The U.S. is going to be in the white uniforms. Carlos Peralta, Blanca Burns, and Grant Tody will be our officials for our 26th Nike Hoop Men's Summit. USA has won 18 of the previous 25, including a couple in a row here. The world hasn't won since 2018 and hasn't put up 90+ in the game since 2015. So this group is looking to do exactly that. They certainly have scoring on their side. They've got some flexibility and versatility, and we're going to tell you about some of the elite recruits and then some of the elite international prospects like that young man Dame Sarr, who has carved out quite the role with FC Barcelona this year, has shown some real flashes of brilliance with his elite length at 6'5", and just arms that seem to go for days.
Well, no, I think for American basketball fans, seeing some of these guys that play at the pro level over there, they're coming to now play college basketball. So some names to keep your eyes on here in this game for Team World.
They control the opening tip. Alozie will set it in motion. On the drive and finish. That is the all-time leading scorer in California high school basketball history, Tunde Yesufu, with the first bucket. And then a foul. Dybantsa, too tough, with a chance for 3.
Well, no surprise to see early action getting going to the rim. Dybantsa is a freight train. I mean, look at him just taking on multiple defensive players. Dame Sarr plays EuroLeague basketball. He's getting knocked right back. Dybantsa's just such a physical presence, And you feel that from the jump right here.
He's listed at 6'9", 250 pounds, and it looks like he's got room to get stronger.
He can still fill out. That frame has plenty that he can add to it.
Nearly a steal from Michael Brown Jr., the Louisville commit. A reload. Yesufu is such an interesting prospect at 6'6", 210. Outside jumper a little bit short from Markovic.
See, these Team World bigs can certainly spread it and spray it right there. Markovic pick and pop. You have to be aware with his shooting ability.
Bonsa leave it. Here's Boozer's first touch. So versatile himself. That jumper falls short. He follows his miss. Leave it deep. Bonsa with a slam.
Just think for Cam Boozer, the winning plays that he and his brother make, and they've won so much in their high school careers. It's not an understatement, and it's not a diss either to say that with Cam Boozer, his floor has to be as high as anybody in this class because he's so solid.
Brings it at 6'9", 225. And we talk about all the time, winning is a learned skill.
No question.
And those two, to your point, have done it more than just about anybody at the high school level, as that one's a little strong from Alozie.
I think a lot of the times, Noah, when you say, well, they have a high floor, it's taken as a diss. And I think Cameron Boozer has a lot of potential in terms of what he can be as a college player and an NBA player. But just in terms of the things that he does well, that translates to all levels.
And a bump as Ament was trying to take it towards the paint, and Markovic just got in his way. Cameron Boozer, so the resume is astounding. Son of Carlos, who's here, two-time All-Star in the NBA, national champ at Duke, two-time Gatorade National Player of the Year, was sandwiched with Cooper Flagg last year, fourth player to win it twice, 4 straight Florida State championships, and then the Chipotle Nationals this year, where his brother hit a huge shot in the semifinals to send them there.
You could stack his resume with pretty much anybody over the course of the last 20 or 25 years, and I don't know if you could find a better one.
No, I think that it's an easy argument that he is the best high school basketball resume of all time. The open look falls just a little bit awry. That's going to be somebody to watch. Tyson Acup Jr. going to Arkansas. He is explosive with the ball in his hand. Sarr showing off the length.
How about just the ability to grind that out right there? I mean, Dame Sarr grinding that drive, physical take, a guy that can add some strength to his frame as well.
Boozer in and out, and a rebound arrived going to UConn next year by way of Germany originally, 4th ranked center in the class. And Danny Hurley is excited for what his offensive potential could look like with the Huskies. Back the other way, Yesufu, so strong himself. Fendoff just doesn't get the roll. Offensive rebound, poked away. Alozie. It's just been a little bit errant from 3. And a lot of contact, knocked out of bounds, and it's going back to the world.
Dame Sarr, you think of him in his role at FC Barcelona, a lot of catch and shoot threes, spreading the floor, certainly playing off a closeout, but he can play pick and roll as well.
Yesufu inside, the spin. A little too strong. Sarr mentioned that he tries to take a lot out of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game, and that bucket as blocked by Ribe.
Oh, Ribe taking on Dibasa there. That's just
job.
Getting knocked back, but still getting a piece. He's a guy that his offense is ahead of his defense, but Dibasa is just trying to get to your body, knock you back. That's a really solid and strong defensive play for a guy going to UConn next year.
So the World will get it back. They've got Jayon Pitt in the game. Arizona State commit.
Gotta block him out. He's gonna go to the glass, 5th in the EYBL and rebounding this last summer.
Yesufu, just see that quick first step, and Dibasa has no other choice but to reach in and foul him. I mean, this is not just explosion on the ground, but it's explosion getting up as well. This was his freshman year, his first high school varsity game. Look what he does to this rim. Yeah,
oh
good night.
Boy, it's lucky that nothing bad happened right there, but taking the entire backboard down, that's a great photo.
They made it a crime scene. Look at him behind. Just yellow tape.
I loved how hard he played in the McDonald's game. I mean, you get 6 steals in a game like that. He's picking up 94 feet. He is an absolute stud. And take away the scoring. I love his effort. The points speak for themselves and what he's able to accomplish in the state of California. But Tunde Yesufu, Scott Drew is getting a good one there.
Yeah, Baylor is going to love what he can bring course, losing VJ Edgecombe to the NBA draft, and it just feels like he can fill a lot of what VJ did on the floor on both ends. Deep three, in and out off of the hands of Michael Brown Jr. Hit it up ahead, knock away. DeBansa got a hand on it. Acuff didn't see him. Now on the reload, DeBansa, pump, drive, look out. He takes off, gets it back, and finally the foul is called.
DeBansa just makes you make a business decision. You got to really think about it. You go for the shot fake, he puts it on the floor. He gets fouled there by Ribe on that initial drive. I love the way he stayed right there with it.
That's number 2 on Ribe, as Omer Mayer will check in. The Israeli will replace Yesufu. See what DeBansa has done. Going to BYU, the composite rank in terms of what everybody, he had been the #1 on 24/7 for basically the entire way up until the final week. And then he was overtaken by Darren Peterson going to Kansas, one of the co-MVPs of the McDonald's All-American game himself, with 18 points in that one. But DeBansa had 17 in just 24.5 minutes in the McDonald's game.
That was efficient. I mean, 7 of 12 from the field. But we've heard about A.J. DeBansa for quite some time. And when you think about the pressure that builds for the type of player that he is, and just the magnifying glass that you now live under, he's really handled it well.
Yesufu ends up staying in the game. Hit it up ahead. Kiyan Anthony is checked in, and right on cue, Anthony finds his way to the free throw line.
That's what he does. Just like his dad, he's out there to get buckets. And Kiyan Anthony, tough shot maker, ball's in his hands. You can bet it's going up, just like it was for his dad, and for good reason, because he can put the ball in the hole.
Are you having PTSD about having to guard Carmelo?
No,
Is that what's happening right now?
There's a couple times. I'm sure that it's not lodged in his brain, but it is lodged in mine.
So Anthony, the top recruit out of New York. Carmelo officially going to be a Hall of Famer. Was announced just a couple weeks ago during the Final Four as Kiyan splits a pair.
How about that class?
Incredible.
I mean, you're looking at the people that are up there at the Final Four, and it's a who's who of basketball.
We were talking about the women's side of things, but they have guys like Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard going together along with the Redeem team. It's just a sensational class overall. As Harrelson checks in for the first time for the U.S. Spin, buzzer, score.
There's just not many fives at this level or the next level for college that are going to be able to deal with that. Boozer has such a great handle. He puts it on the floor with his left, but he's coming back to spin to the right.
And now his brother Caden's on the floor trying to apply some ball pressure. This is what Mayer does. Comes up short on the three.
Mayer, a guy that's played EuroLeague, has had some success with Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Brown had knocked away Mayer, got a hand in the cookie jar. Stay with the U.S.
This is just one-on-one here. Little pick and pop, size you up, take you left to bring you back with the spin. Cameron Boozer with a ton of ability. We've seen it over the 4-year career from him in high school, and it's going to translate to the next level. I can promise you that.
Carlos, just such a fantastic basketball life that he had, and it just feels like his two sons are ready to further that family name as Brown comes up too strong. Anthony right there for the board.
Michael Brown coming into Louisville, by all accounts, has had a phenomenal week out here in Portland. Some shots early, but that dude's been balling out here.
How about the defensive intensity from DeBansa early?
Well, think about the defender that he can be.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
Every physical tool, and I think if you want to get nitpicky with his game, it's do you compete on every defensive possession? And for guys that are his caliber, that sometimes is the last thing to come. But he has every tool to be an elite defensive player.
Yesufu, too strong in the corner. Offensive rebound and a second chance for the world. That's a force up and comes up short from Pitt. Clear for the U.S.
You don't block out Pitt. He's going to make his way to the offensive glass. Blue-collar player, that's what he wants to do.
Helps when you have Chris Sinak Jr. on the floor, the top-ranked center in the class going to Houston. And he fits that Houston culture as he's ready for his freshman season. They'll get him a touch in the post, and he's fouled by Pitt. Under 5 to play in this first quarter. The U.S. with an early 3-point lead, and J.J. Redick in the building along with the other stars, taking in all the action. NBA pipeline from the Nike Hoop Summit is strong. 4 Hall of Fame inductees, including Garnett, Dirk, Powell and Tony Parker, so 3 of them coming from the world side. 8 MVP winners, including Jokic's 3 MVP awards and 16 #1 overall picks. That includes last year's first overall pick, Zachary Risacher. We saw his sister earlier in the women's game. Here's a list of all the #1 overall selections, and you can pretty much chalk it up to 17 because Cooper Flagg's going to be the #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, and there's a decent chance that A.J. Dibonsa might be the #1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft.
Well, that's why it's such an honor to get to play in this game, because you look at who has come before you. It's the best players in not just the United States, but the entire world that get to come out here and test their skills and test their games. You do it in a city like Portland that loves the game of basketball. The Blazers so well supported here. It's just a great event, and it's first class all the way. But it's an honor to get to play in a game like this.
Sanak makes it a 5-point U.S. lead. The world just made a couple of changes. Anthony stays in there. Some consistent pressure coming as Trey McKinney makes his first appearance for the U.S., as does Nicholas Hamenia, the Duke commit, 6'8", 215 from the North Hollywood area.
By all accounts, he has had a phenomenal week here in Portland. Playmaking, making shots, making things happen.
Anthony misfires there. Jalen Harrelson will bring it across for the United States. So Harrelson, Caden Boozer, Hamenia, Sanak, and McKinney are the 5 on the floor for head coach Frank Bennett. Hamenia, the rip through, and 2. Tough one through Anthony.
Let's clear him out on that left elbow, and it's go to work. Go right at Kiyan Anthony, and I love just kind of that change of tempo. You slow play it early, and you burn it to the rim.
Meyer, series of screens, including from Mirkovic.
Pass.
Get it inside, and Mirkovic does the rest.
How about Omer Meyer, though? Just playing pick and roll and hitting that pocket right there.
Boozer, Sanak. He's going to get 2 free throws. Boozer just sets the table so well, but Hamenia with the strength.
Well, they go with the clear out here, Noah. It's just this rip and go, use your body, understand how to use your size. Here's that pocket pass from Omer Meyer. He's a guy that very well could find his way to the United States to play college basketball. Diamond up David Mirkovic, who's going to Illinois.
Boyuan Jung checks in for Team World. How about the pipeline that Illinois has discovered? The European and even just overall international, with Will Riley coming from Canada last year, but Kasparas Jakučionis. Now you've got both Ivisic brothers that are going to be on the team, and Mirkovic is going to join that as well.
Brad Underwood going for a monster front court.
Yeah.
Right? They are going for the ultimate in size.
But size that can stretch
the
it.
skill that those guys have. I mean, both the Ivisics, and now you add Mirkovic to the fold here. I'm still waiting on Jakučionis. I assume he's going to the NBA, but I don't believe it's been announced.
Hasn't been announced, but you have to feel pretty confident. Mirkovic, ring service underneath.
Well, if USA is going to bring pressure, that's how you should break it. Not just to get it across half court, but to score.
Harrelson. Meyer with some great defense, forced the miss. And then a foul going the other way against Sanak.
I like the way that Team World has gotten out here. They've been physical. They certainly have given an effort, even though Team USA is stacked with talent. They are competing out here with this group.
Last year, it was a United States 98-75 win, but it was a 30-15 fourth quarter that really did it. 3.5 to play in this first quarter. 15-10. U.S. out in front early. Portland.
Mr. Doncic, thank you for joining us. We're here to decide whether Luka should answer for his bad behavior.
You are a nasty, trash-talking menace. Order! Order! Bad Luka.
Choose 1 appetizer and 2 entrees. Applebee's famous 2 for $25 with new sizzling skillets and steak.
Always dry scoop before you run.
Listen to me. A hot dog diet got me shredded.
It's time we listen to science. One A Day is formulated with key nutrients to support whole body health. One A Day, science that matters.
After nearly 25 years, the NBA returns to NBC. Starting with a tip-off of the 2025 season, games will be on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Speaking of NBA, two guys that are alums of the Nike Hoop Summit. Three-time MVP Nikola Jokic had 5 points and 7 boards in 2014. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was in double figures in 2017. I mean, the numbers of this MVP race coming down to the wire. Last game of the season tomorrow. It is going to be neck and neck all the way through, and you can make the argument with Oklahoma City having the best record in the NBA and the impact that Shai has had on both sides that he deserves it. And then you can make the argument that Nikola Jokic averaged a triple-double while putting up 30 a night and shooting 48% from three, and say, how do you not give it to him?
It's legit cases on both sides. Both those guys having such phenomenal seasons. I played with Jokic his first year. Now, granted, it was only in camp, but to see where he was there as a rookie in the NBA and to see where he is now, it is mind-blowing the way that Denver has developed him.
Look, you could see some of the makings and the feels of the
he
game,
was
but
talented,
it's a different level
oh
at this
my
point.
God.
And a lot of credit to him for changing.
He can pass.
Yeah, that was a bullet feed right back to Mirkovic again, but he couldn't finish it. And Sanak finally claims the board for the U.S. Still haven't seen Taj Ariza in this game. Jong stays out there with Mirkovic, Anthony, Pitt, and Meyer. That's a nice, tough take and finish from Homenya.
That's what he's been doing. Think about the classes that Jon Scheyer is stacking at Duke with the talent. Now, last year it's Cooper Flagg, it's Kaman Malawach, who's an Olympian for South Sudan, and look at who he's got this year. The Boozer twins and Homenya coming. Plenty of talent in Durham.
And Ariza is going to check in next dead ball for the world, down by 7. Anthony going to work against Boozer. NBA legacy against NBA legacy. Nice pass inside for the bucket from Mirkovic.
Team World finding Mirkovic, but Mirkovic is finding these open areas, and these guards are diming him up.
Jasper Johnson, 2 strong. Oh, Sanak came in with reckless abandon, just couldn't corral it.
I really like Chris Sanak. He's a guy that has improved so much over the course of the last year. Going from a player that was ranked around 50 to now one of the elite prospects, and then you pick a school like Houston and Kelvin Sampson to coach you. The sky is the limit for him. He might not be the best player right now, Noah, but he could be one of the guys that when you look back in 20 years, you're like, this dude has made so much money playing pro basketball.
So Ariza in the game. You mentioned him being one of the highest ranked recruits in the class of 2026. Mirkovic is fouled. Homenya got a little too close in the landing space, and that's going to be 3 free throws.
The Meyer to Mirkovic connection continues on here. A little bit late on that closeout, and I assume that they're going to get him for not letting him land, but looks like maybe he did. This will be a better view here.
It looks like he sold it pretty well.
I think he did. Yeah, I would say. You know, Homenya is getting a little bit close to those feet, but I think that was well done by Mirkovic.
I don't believe there's challenges at the Nike Hoop Summit.
Well, there was a review in the girls' game.
There were a couple
monitor,
reviews.
So,
couple reviews.
but they weren't for flagrant fouls.
No,
they were, okay.
no. They were for clock and possession, 3 versus 2.
No, we can't get away from the vaunted reviews.
Kasparas Giacochonis in the building.
Nice.
Representing this Illinois international recruiting legacy. We talked about what Tomislav Ivicic did for them this year, and now with Zvonimir coming over from Arkansas. Just going to be so exciting to watch them again. We'll wait on Giacochonis to confirm that he's going to the NBA before we completely write it off. But Mirkovic is going to add to what is already, and same with Will Riley, although that one feels like he's, after his first-round NCAA tournament performance, he has vaulted himself to guaranteed first-round pick. Either way, Mirkovic exciting, and we'll see if they can add even more. Mirkovic has scored the last 8 for Team World to get this back to a 1-possession game.
The interesting thing with NIL, though, is that there is something to at least think about with some of those, especially for a late first-round pick. I think Will Riley, if you're a first-round guy, you probably have to go, but at least there's a discussion that has to be had.
It's an interesting point and a correct one. The difference is the 4 years of guaranteed payday as John celebrates a tough bucket and hears it from his teammates.
And his coach right there. Jean more known for his ability to catch and shoot, but right there putting it on the floor.
Kate Boozer stays in there, gets it off to his future teammate Homenya. Jasper Johnson back to Homenya. This is what he does. Can't stroke it there. Zhang on the run, and he'll slow it down. Or will he? Zhang, spin, aggressive. And maybe a little bit too aggressive. No, a foul is called. I've never seen a celebration at this level for a foul pickup.
You said maybe a little too aggressive. Just totally runs over Amenya, and you're right. You got Marshall Cho. He is fired up. Zhang is getting his game on out here. This is a guy that has seen the United States, though, in international play. And there you see the celebration. He saw Team USA in the World Cup in 2024 for the U18s. Plays in the Chinese Pro League, so certainly coming out here and playing with plenty of confidence. In that World Cup, he averaged 17 and 4. Only had 7 points against the United States, but he is certainly looking to be aggressive out here.
It's an 8-0 world run to take a 1-point lead in the final minute of this first quarter. Boozer working on Zhang, gets inside and hangs it through.
That was a smart play there by Caden Boozer, seeing that Zhang is guarding him, doesn't have the foot speed to contain him, so he went right at him and got to the rim.
Alozier, and the follow slam. Ribe gets upstairs.
That help comes over, and there's nobody home to crack down. Ribe is going to have every opportunity there for the tip-in, and that's exactly what happens.
Fast pace in this first quarter. Cameron Boozer had it knocked away by Zhang. Up ahead, Zhang trying to beat out this foot race and does! Zhang, the star of the first quarter. Dibonsa right back at you.
Dibonsa not wasting any time, but what a play by Zhang with the knockaway first, and then if you're going to go, you better go to dunk it.
Ariza, 3 seconds. Ariza, too strong. Rebound, and Johnson will just fire it away after the horn. What a couple of highlights to finish this first quarter, all even at 22.
Well, both teams flying up the floor. Ribe getting his game on, going upstairs on the offensive glass. And how about Zhang? Like you said, Noah, starting in the first half, sparking Team World.
All even at 22 after 1. And for the first time in this men's Hoop Summit game, we check in with Jordan Cornette.
So, no, I've been walking around with this chain link, and everybody's wondering, why the heck is Jordan holding this? Well, it's a really cool story. Coach Cho gave me this link that it signifies something greater for this world team. It basically signifies one piece of a link for an entire chain. The chain given to him from the athletic trainer for the world team, Sandy Sandago. And Sandy basically said, look, we know this Team USA team was connected from generation to generation, but the world team had no connection. So we wanted this chain to be something to connect the teams from year to year. So they started with Kaspars Yakachonis, who played last year, an alumni for the world team, started Illinois. They gave him the chain as an alumni. He brought that to the team. In their practice today, showed it to them. They all were given a link. What a step back move there. Can't finish it, though. They each got a piece of this link to be connected through the chain. From years to come, it's going to be a part of the mantra for this world team. And that, guys, is why they're playing such connected basketball right now. It's the link that I'm holding.
Yeah, and listen, whatever works clearly is working. And Kaspars Yakachonis is such a great shining example of what you can make out of being a part of this game. It's really great stuff from Jordan, uncovering the meaning behind all of it. And look, all the coaches have talked about how special it is just to have all these different players of all the different backgrounds on the floor together, as Sarr earns a trip to the free throw line just 34 seconds into the second.
No, I think any all-star game you play in, there's a feeling out process of, you know, kind of what is your role? How do you find the balance of not being over-aggressive but still making an impact? And I think for the U.S. team, a great example is Nate Ament. You know, he's in that starting five. He's as good as anybody. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the class of 2025. Doesn't get a shot up on the floor. And you know, even you look at the way he played in the McDonald's game, he has 12 points. He only takes 6 shots. So it's kind of finding your role, figuring out how to play with one another. And yes, for the Team USA guys, there's a little bit more familiarity, but it's for any all-star game. How can you find your way to impact the game, and how can you not get lost in the shuffle? Because it can be really difficult.
Steele, jump in front, Alozier! Call him a Heizier because he's living upstairs.
That's what he does. A big-time athlete. He read that beautifully. Shoots through the passing lane and makes something happen. This Team World defense has been very connected.
And a turnover. Taj Ariza getting fired up on the force.
Whatever Marshall Cho did, he should do more of it, because this Team World defense has come to play. Defense leading to offense, and Alozie can certainly do this. A phenomenal athlete with a 6'6" wingspan, making a play on the defensive end and showing out on the other.
Finished high school at Dream City Christian in Glendale, Arizona. A phenomenal career, undeclared 4-star prospect. Moved from Nigeria in 2021 to play at the Patrick School. Lob it inside, Ribe, catch, strip, good hands, out of bounds, stays with the world.
That's where Ribe has got to score that with his off right hand. You know, he kind of pivots back to that left, but if he just goes up right away, he could have easily scored that and had a good look.
Playing in front of the two-time national champ Donovan Klingenson courtside, and he mentioned him as one of the reasons he chose UConn. An easy straight line drive for the bucket for Mirkovic, or make it for Markovic. It's tough, Markovic versus Mirkovic. Bounce and another steal. Ariza steps in front, running with Boozer. Ariza, cross, corkscrew, no, Ribe is there.
Team World is just playing harder than Team USA. This US team a little bit out of sorts, and a turnover fueling the run out. Team World loving what they're seeing.
Well, Carmelo Anthony, one of the, if not the greatest freshman campaigns ever, 03 national championship at Syracuse, and Kiyan Anthony has followed in those footsteps. He will be a freshman at the Cuse in Central New York next season for Adrian Autry and company. And Carmelo, a proud father, has been with him every step of the way. Here on hand to watch Kiyan ball out, and now standing by with Jordan Cornette.
And I'll tell you what, Carmelo's looking forward to get back to this game. You're really entertained by what you're seeing from Kiyan's World team.
Yeah, I mean, I was with them all week, so I know the amount of work that they put in. You know what I'm saying? Them guys have an opportunity to showcase their talent in front of the world, so it's been a good week for those boys, man.
Well, let's talk about Kiyan electing to play for this World team. I know that gave you and Lala great pride that he wanted to represent his Puerto Rican roots. What did that mean to you guys?
I just wanted him to have the opportunity, you know, to go out there and play basketball at the highest level. You get a chance to play against the best players in the world, actually, and play alongside the best players in the world. So, you know, it's a proud father moment. I'm sure Liz is a proud mom moment for her too. But just for him to have this opportunity on this stage means a lot.
That stage is only going to grow for Kiyan as he's elected to follow in your footsteps and go to Syracuse. Place you reminded me when I walked up that you used to give me buckets. Time for and place for another conversation. But how proud are you that he's going to be walking in your steps at the Dome and stepping on a practice floor named after you from what you achieved?
I mean, I don't think he understood why I put the actual gym up there, the Melo facility. It was for him. But, you know, now, you know, years later, I think that having the opportunity to just get back up there and restart this whole thing back over, and for him to kind of carve out his own lane up there, his own experience. You know, I hope he have the same experience I had up there, but I just want him to go up there and have fun, man, and enjoy this college thing.
Carmelo, it's one thing to be a Hall of Famer, get that call for the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. It's another thing for it to happen twice for you, because you're part of that 08 Redeem team that won gold in Beijing. What's the honor like 2 times over for you?
I mean, I'm still trying to get over the first one, you know, the individual one. But, you know, that's just a testament to the amount of work and the commitment that it took to, you know, to put that 2008 USA team together, man. It took a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts, a lot of egos, a lot of pride, a lot of conversation, and at the end of the day, a lot of togetherness. So we did it, man, and we the Redeem team.
Before I let you go, commencement speech at Syracuse. We getting that thing together? You ready for that?
I'm working on it. I'm probably 3/4 done up.
Okay, look forward to hearing from that, Carmelo. It's a pleasure, man. Enjoy the rest of it.
All right, Jordan, great stuff with the newly minted Hall of Famer. A couple of explosive plays on either side. Some defense being played and then some elite offense from Sanak, getting it done on both ends.
What a sequence for him to block that shot, but then also show off some of the skill set. He can really handle it. He can score from the perimeter. He can shoot the basketball, and they're showing off that turnaround jumper in the post.
We've seen a couple of flashes from Dame Sarr as well.
Yes.
A couple of passing lane step-ins and then
but
in
you don't
transition.
you don't just play for FC Barcelona, especially as an 18-year-old, unless you have a lot of ability. Here's the Cenac block. Looks like Sarr is going to get something in transition. Look at where Cenac is with that wingspan. And showing off the skill as well. Love the physicality. You got a guard in there. Use your size. Get to your turnaround jumper. Omer Mayer, a guy that plays EuroLeague as well with Maccabi Tel Aviv. I think Chris Cenac has improved as much as anybody in this class of 2025 over the last year.
Spent most of his high school in New Orleans before the final season this last year at Link Academy in Branson, Missouri. Jordan Brand Classic, McDonald's All-American here at the Nike Hoop Summit. Top-ranked center in the country, state title in Louisiana last year. Just a very accomplished resume, as just about everybody in this game does have. We're approaching the midway point of this second quarter. The knockaway from Boozer. Harrelson in transition. Slow it down. DiBonsa, the trailer. The rebound falls right to Mirkovic.
Jalen Harrelson set the table perfectly there. Wasn't there on the initial run out, felt the trailer behind him. Harrelson kind of a Swiss Army knife, point forward type.
Rive gets it away from the double, and the push shot too strong, but 2 free throws for Yesufu.
Team World has been active cutting off the ball. And whether it's bigs or guards, they have found those cutters. Double comes over, Yesufu just gets into the vision. More often than not, if you see guys that are elite scorers, they do 2 things really well, or actually 3. They're normally really good screeners. They're normally really good cutters. They also just understand, man, if I can make myself available, I'm going to steal points. And that's exactly what Yesufu does right there with the cut.
Product from Benin in West Africa before moving to the U.S. prior to his freshman year to play at St. Joseph High School in Santa Maria, California. Mentioned the fact that he has over 3,500 high school points, all-time leading scorer in California high school history. McDonald's All-American himself, as that one falls for McKinney.
Kenny's going to be fun to watch what he becomes over the course of his career for Dusty May. Certainly going to have options with his body. Really physical guard. You go small, he can play that 4. You want to go with a big lineup, he can play as a guard and use his physicality.
Deep one for Sarr, and he knocks it through.
Dame Sarr has put on quite the performance here.
He's here to prove something.
No
there was
doubt.
a lot of controversy surrounding his decision to come here.
Yeah.
As that's a pull and gets the roll. Nice one from Acuff. So the controversy is that FC Barcelona didn't quite grant him the full permission to attend this, but he was asked about it 2 days ago, and he said this was too good of an opportunity for him to pass up as Meyer comes up short on the 3. He just felt like the ability that he was going to have to prove himself on the world stage like this, and he understands the clear consequence that comes with it, but he just felt like this was something he had to attend for his basketball livelihood.
Well, you hope that the consequence doesn't burn a bridge, because
Sure.
FC Barcelona is one of the elite European teams you can play for. However, if I had to kind of venture of what I think probably happened, I'm guessing he said back in November, hey, I'm going to play in this. They're like, great. And then as soon as you move into the rotation, you're actually playing in games that matter. And that conversation changes a little bit.
Look, you played overseas. You know how those types of conversations tend to go. And it is a much different world than, let's say, the NBA or college worlds are.
A lot of playing overseas is how well do you handle a lot of the nonsense. And that would be part of that.
Rive getting it done again, cleaning up the offensive glass.
Every effort play has gone the way of Team World here.
Oh! Cameron Boozer, detonation at the rim.
Cam Boozer just got a running start there and went right over the top. No block out.
Meyer just past the midway point of the second. Team World still holding on to this 4-point lead. Dancing on the outside, he's got the mismatch. Yesufu, explosive, step back, money.
That ability to get to the rim and the body he's got, he can make that jumper there. Yesufu is going to be a problem. He is so physical.
Brown too strong. Left-footed board goes to Rive. World just looking to continue to pour it on here as Sean Abayev, the late ad, on the floor for the first time. Another McDonald's All-American in his own right, and he can put him up in a hurry.
He can really score.
Right on cue, a chance for 4. Abayev says, I'll take this dance.
That's exactly why he is here. Sean Abayev, if you've ever seen him play, he is a bucket getter, one of the best one-on-one scorers in his class. Here's that Boozer finish, no block out. This is one of those where if you're Eric Ribe, you're asking, hey, who's blocking out Cam Boozer, because he's coming right over the top.
Yeah, Carlos loves it. Yep. Got the Duke hat out. And one more free throw for Team World. They are currently 11 of 15 at the charity stripe. I mean, he's just got great coordination rocking with the black and blue. His twin sons following in his footsteps to be Blue Devils. Kiyan Anthony will check back in for the World. Meyer's going to sit, or will it be Sarr?
It was fun, Noah, to read up on both Caden and Cameron and think back as you're reading about Carlos's accomplishments, how stacked the 0-1 national title team is. I mean, what an unbelievable group of talent that they had.
Really, from, I mean, you could go and pick your year, but 99, 2000, 2001.
They had, whether it's Jay Williams or Mike Dunleavy Jr., Carlos Boozer,
Battier,
Shane Battier, like even the role guys, just studs.
What a just ridiculous move again through contact for Boozer, showing you that he can get explosive at the rim, and then he's got elite touch on top of it.
Well, and it's with either hand. He can score with his right or his left, and we know he can step out and shoot it from three. On top of that, all the winning plays he does.
Abayev, lefty smooth.
You don't want to see him get one going down, because there's going to be a flurry after that. Abayev can really score.
Foul on the floor with 3:24 to play in this first half.
Russ Miller and Cincinnati have to love what's coming in next year. Late on the closeout, it is going up. Abayev cashing out from three, and then Cameron Boozer just taking his time and getting it done with the right.
So Boozer stays out there. McKennie, Hamenya, Ament, and his brother Caden out on the floor. Or actually, Caden is out on the floor. Leaves it for McKennie. And he's pure from the mid-range.
Just a little set there on the other out of bounds. Get the ball in and then pin right in for McKennie.
Meyer, Abayev, Pitt, Yesufu, and Anthony are the five for the World. The split from Meyer. Spray it. Anthony, corner. Too strong on the three. Boozer's there to collect the rebound. Hand it off for Caden. Hamenya, the three Dukies. Playing catch. Hamenya is going to shoot two.
I love, though, that Caden Boozer gave that up. There's kind of a crowd in the middle of the floor. He's not going to pound the air out of it. He's throwing it up to Hamenya. Hamenya's so good at finishing around the rim. Ament flushes that home. That might have had a chance to hang up there.
So Hamenya, four-star recruit, top 25. Harvard Westlake High School is an elite program out on the West Coast. And Hamenya has made his mark and then some. State titles in 2023 and 2024. And part of this Duke recruiting class with the Boozer twins. You mentioned that John Shire just continues to find ways. Also Shelton Henderson, top 15 recruit in his own right. It feels like every year you can just write them in as the #1 recruiting class in the country.
And even this year for Duke, I mean, Cooper Flagg is ridiculously talented. And then you think about Kamen Malawach and how much ability he has going forward. A lot of potential, but certainly starting to realize that.
Yeah, Con Knipple and the season that he had.
Him. He was unbelievable in the NCAA tournament.
Yesufu lost the handle. He's going to have to put it up. Another late clock bucket.
He's shown that mid-range game multiple times tonight. End of shot clock, he's had to make something happen. It hasn't been necessarily to the rim, but he's been able to get to his pull-up jumper.
And now he and Dibonsa are battling on both sides of the ball.
Fun matchup.
Yeah, it is. Boozer drive, and a foul is called. Anthony thought he stayed in front. Looked like the contact came from behind.
Well, Tunde Yesufu has looked the part of a guy that averaged 28 points a game for his senior year. And the shot clock, you've got to make something happen. Get some space, rise up over the top.
So 2 free throws for Boozer. I'm sure you saw the social media discourse surrounding the swag for Yesufu with the wristband on the left arm, the wristband type on the left leg, and the way that he moves a lot of Anthony Edwards, especially with the number 5 on his jersey.
There seems to be some similarities there.
I mean, he's going for the Anthony Edwards starter pack.
I love that. It would be like anyone that grew up in the 90s and was rocking, you know, the wristband on the elbow was the Michael Jordan.
I thought you were going to say anybody who grew up in the 2000s was rocking the arm sleeve for Allen Iverson.
Or you could go that direction as well.
But the
different
body type,
eras that we were brought up in,
100%. It's, you know, just a slight difference. But for Yesufu, the body type as well. It just feels like the movement is there. The body type 6'6", 210 is where he's listed. He's got to have a little bit more muscle than that. At this point, he's only going to get more. And again, it just feels like Baylor's going to have an explosive guy who can really get it, just flat out get it done.
Well, and a guy that really works on his game. His high school coach, Tom Mott, has raved about the work ethic and the focus that he's shown.
Oh, the block. Pitt thought he had an easy one. He's going to stay here with 2:01 to play.
We haven't called Nate Amen's name all that often here tonight. Very talented prospect in his own right. They're defensively making something happen and saving a basket.
Ariza, 8 to shoot.
You can see the shake in his game. My goodness.
Step back, long 2. He got hit. It didn't matter. Taj Ariza's got all the tricks in the bag.
Man, he has a lot of ability. He just kind of drips with that scoring swag. You see the way he can handle it.
Amen, leave it. Boozer had it stripped.
Just flying all over the place.
He has provided top-tier energy for Team World. Now it's Meyer. Jong is calling for it. He wants it bad. Meyer finally gets it to him. This is going on. Not in.
Well, that was a heat check. You don't see many effort heat checks all that often, but that's what that was.
Boozer, long strides, floats it, no. Rebound, Pitt.
Good ball up there by Team World. Boozer trying to force the issue, and now they got numbers.
Yesufu.
Good
hook it.
pass.
Ariza. Oh! Blocked by Boozer. A whistle and a foul, but what hustle from Cam Boozer to get back in time.
There's nothing easy out here. Athletes everywhere on the floor. Team World trying to push that lead out. Cam Boozer with some other ideas. Team USA trying to find their way back in.
The 2025 Nike Hoop Summit is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. What a start for Team World, but the Boozer twins are doing their part for the U.S. Carlos Boozer, national champion in 2001, 2-time All-Star in the NBA. And these two guys have been so good, their jerseys are already retired at Christopher Columbus High School in Miami. The 4 high school Florida state championships and then Chipotle Nationals this year. They come away with the hardwood, get it all the way, and what a perfect and fitting way to cap 2 absolutely incredible high school careers.
Well, how cool that they're going to get to continue to play together as twins to get to stay in the same place and experience exactly what their dad did. New coach with John Shire, but a Duke guy in itself. Just an awesome story.
Is Carlos FaceTiming somebody, or
he might
is he
be
just mid-text? Oh, yeah, I think he was just mid-text. That would have been top tier. Make sure that the entire family can get that courtside view. Either way, 12-point Team World advantage.
Well, that's so cool that both the Boozer twins fit together so well. You know, one plays point guard, the other plays power forward. And they really do fit off each other so well.
Amen. Jong with great defense. Quick trigger. McKinney finds Nylon.
He had to get that up quick with that shot clock at 1.
Loose ball. Yesufu scoops it up. Leave it for Jong. End of the first quarter with a bang. He's looking to do the same in the second. And then had it knocked out of bounds by Amen. So 7-second difference, 7.5 between shot clock and game clock. Ariza will inbound for the World. Get it in. Yesufu. Looking to dance on Boozer. Step back. Jong. Pump. Drive. Jong. Knock away. Ariza. 4 to shoot. He's going to have to put it up. Comes up short. Good defense by Boozer. Get it up ahead for Caden. One-on-one with a lead. Oh, the block. Ariza swatted it. What a finish to the first half and defensive explosiveness on either side.
That is a ridiculous play from Taj Ariza to beat that thing to the glass. man, the effort and the athleticism. Oh, but maybe a little bit late there. That was right there, about to be at the board. But still, you love the fact that in an all-star setting, Taj Ariza given that type of effort.
Tunde Yesufu has been an absolute stud through one half, and he's standing by with Jordan Cornette.
Tunde, watching this one, it certainly doesn't feel like an all-star game. It feels like you guys are out here to make a statement. Is that an accurate statement of mine?
Definitely, definitely. I think a lot of people have been doubting us the whole time and expecting them to win. So we came here with the killer mentality, man, and trying to win it all.
Tunde, as you go into that halftime, your group is going to be fired up. What do you guys need to do to maintain this, build on it, and continue to entertain us out here?
I personally feel like it's 0-0 second time. Second half, we just got to be locked in. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Stay on defense and keep doing the same thing we've been doing.
T, stay hot. Best of luck in the second half, my friend.
Great stuff from Yesufu and Team World as they lead by 9 at the end of the first half. Coming up after the break, our Nike Hoop Summit halftime report with Ahmed Fareed, Asia Ellison, and Matt McCall.
Upset stuff.
Welcome back to Portland. Start of the second half of the Nike Hoop Summit in 2025. It's a 9-point lead for Team World after 2. Game summary so far, it has been Team World that has just out-hustled. 7 forced turnovers, 8 points off the turnovers, shooting 46% from the floor. And it's been a little bit of everybody. They've shared the ball excellent, had a high level, high pace, gotten out, run in transition, just gotten everything to go their way with that high level energy. We welcome you back courtside, Noah Eagle, Robbie Hummel, and Jordan Cornette. And that really feels like the story. It was just a team that played harder through 2 quarters.
Yeah, the effort by Team World, certainly the way they were able to get out, force some mistakes, take advantage of those mistakes by Team USA, and certainly cooling off A.J. Dibonsa, who had 10 first-quarter points and then did not score in the second. The balance for Team World is there. Team USA outside of Trey McKinney and A.J. Dibonsa, they need to find some other guys to get them going.
You mentioned with Dibonsa the 10 points in the first quarter. He really set the tone for Team USA. And then it was just 22-22 after 1 quarter. That's when Team World took that momentum at the end of the first into the second, opened up 8-0 run, and really haven't looked back since then. I'll be curious, and I'm sure you are too, to see will they feature Dibonsa heavily early in this third quarter to see if maybe they can jumpstart him again.
Get him going, but certainly Team USA has options. You know, we haven't seen a whole lot from Michael Brown nor Darius Acuff, 2 very, very talented guards, the 2 best point guards in the class of 2025. And Nate Amen, he hasn't even taken a shot still.
But you said it, a lot of times when you have so much talent on one roster,
you have to kind of figure out how to gel it together.
And it's hard. You have less than a week in this case, about 4 days together to try to figure it out and get some practices in, but it's not nearly enough time to build real chemistry. And so a lot of it just comes down to effort.
Well, Anna, when you have a short period of time, you certainly have to, with the way the game is played, well, how are we guarding pick and roll? What are we running? And then on top of that, you have to find that chemistry and try to establish roles. So it's not an easy process when you're thrown together. Now, Team USA has the advantage of a lot of these guys have played together and against each other on the circuit. They're going to have to figure it out quickly here in the second half.
Alozier back on the floor, starting at point guard. Markovic out there for the World as well. Yesufu was the star in the first half. Ribe and Sarr round out the 5 for the World. Alozier back to Yesufu. Pump, looking to drive, sidestep, patient, jumper is pure.
Boy, he just looks so confident right now. And even with that shot fake, still keeping the rhythm. It's a really heads-up play to shot fake, get Boozer in the air, and then drill it.
Ament leaves it for Boozer. Working on Ribe, likes the matchup. Cross, drive, muscle, bucket.
How about that little left offhand right there? Not enough to be an offensive foul, but certainly enough to affect Ribe's ability to block that shot.
Yesufu leave it for Sarr, who had a couple of really sparkling moments in that first half himself. The Italian looking to dance. No room, had it knocked away, got it back momentarily and turns it away.
Yesufu's great night continues on. Tunde, a big-time scorer in the state of California. It's been to the rim. It's been the mid-range game. It's been the physicality. Look at the way he knocks that defender back. Creates some space. Even with Dibonsa right there, getting his game on.
And a foul going to go against the World on a loose ball as Boozer was held down, and it's going to be Ribe. Yesufu, the other thing is you just look at the body type and the explosiveness and you just assume, hey, he gets all his points in the paint. A lot of what he's done today has been in the mid-range. Another foul going against the World on back-to-back plays, this time Sarr.
But watching the way that Dame Sarr on the other end handles the ball, you don't see many European players with the shake like that.
Yeah.
That looks a lot more like guys that grow up in the United States.
Dibonsa, count it. Remember, you can knock it off the rim in FIBA rules, so you saw Markovic try to do exactly that.
You will not see any of the U.S. players.
Right.
Because we are so programmed here. And honestly, it would be fun to watch the NBA guys fly in there and do that. They would be excellent at it, but you've been taught from such a young age, don't touch the ball on the rim.
We saw it during the Olympics, and the United States team actually did a really good job of adjusting, and Bam Adebayo is one of the best at it, along with Anthony Davis, guys who have played in the Olympics in the past and maybe reprogrammed their brains.
Athletically, they should be the best at it because they're the best athletes. It's just about getting that mindset to go do it.
Ribe trying to enter, and a whistle and a foul. Look at the Olympic team and the Hoop Summit alumni from this year: Jrue Holiday, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant. It is a special honor for sure. All these guys now gold medalists, a couple of them for several Olympic experiences. As Yesufu is going to sit for the World, and Taj Ariza is going to check in much earlier than he did in the first half. Alozier bounce it inside for Ribe. 7 to shoot. Ribe is fouled by Boozer.
Boozer's going to make him prove that. You know, with your size down there, you just got to contest that shot. You don't want to bail him out. Clearly a foul. But if he can make a turnaround jumper over the top of 6'11", you tip your cap.
So Ribe to the free throw line. As mentioned, the 4th-ranked center in the class. He mentioned Dirk Nowitzki as being his biggest influence, understandably so, being from Germany, growing up during Dirk's prime years. And this is what Dan Hurley said about him. There's a seriousness about him that we love. Can't wait to get here and put the work in. I think he's going to be a cheat code on offense. He also had a little bit more of a colorful quote about him as well, but that one was more for air. And the cheat code thing in particular, we've seen how Hurley has developed bigs in his short time even at UConn.
Well, I think also with the way that Danny Hurley can scheme up and some of the 5-out offense, with the way he handles and the skill set he's got, you would think that he keeps developing that jumper. I can see why Danny Hurley is really excited about getting him on campus.
Boozer, a chance for 3, just puts the head down and spins one home.
But that's the side of the floor where Ribe is going to have to keep improving. Cam Boozer just grinds you out, drives it right by you. Certainly containing a player like Boozer going to be a challenge for Ribe.
So Boozer will go to the free throw line, try to get this back to a 5-point game. Just 2.5 minutes in to the second half. Still waiting for Dibonsa to go back in a takeover mode as well, but Boozer had 10 rebounds in the first half alone and continues to do work in the paint.
As athletic as USA is, the press going to be interested to see how Team World handles it.
Sarr dump it inside. Ribe lost it, scooped up, get it up ahead. Acuff, attack, lob, knock away. Nice play. Second chance. Acuff, 3-ball. Yes, sir.
Darius Acuff has been quiet, but he can really score that thing. He relocates and gets into the passer's vision there. Done off that loose ball.
Ariza's response, not there. Boozer clears. Get it up ahead for Acuff. 1-on-1 with Ariza, hangs and hits. Tough finish. Ties the game at 56.
Just the effort from Team USA right here has risen to a different level.
Alozier, hook it, Markovic, lob it inside for Ribe.
That's where Markovic can be very effective. At 6'11", he can handle, he can short roll, 2 on the basketball. Really well done and well executed for the jam.
Boozer's 3, short. Long rebound, Dibonsa tracks it down. Second chance for the United States. Dibonsa draws the contact, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Well, Darius Acuff finding his game here in the open floor. This is not an easy finish. Got Ariza coming in. That left hand doesn't get it on the alley-oop, but Acuff staying in the play, gets himself to the corner, gets in Cam Boozer's vision. He is rising up and cashing out.
2025 Nike Hoop Summit is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. Here in Portland, beautiful night. Lights are on. Same with Darius Acuff. The scoring light has been lit. He is heading to Arkansas next year to play for Coach Cal, who has had quite the resume of pumping out top-tier guards. Derrick Rose, John Wall, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just only to name a couple of them. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what Coach Cal has done in churning out NBA talent. And Darius Acuff is hoping to be the next in a great line of elite guards.
That graphic, though, you could really see the evolution from the golden era of the shorts, like the late 2000s, on the way to the shorter shorts.
Do we need
back.
to pull up the photo of you at the free throw line lineup?
I'm just happy to be a part of it. You know, I'm happy that I can be a part of the iconic golden age of shorts to the.
I'm pretty sure that you were just trying to hide your pasty legs. I think that's what
true.
you were trying to do.
But D. Rose and John Wall, that's what we're talking about right there.
Yours were longer. Yours were baggier.
we were doing it big at Purdue back then.
The St. Bonaventure one is
that's
the
gold. That's the gold standard right there.
Yes, it is. Those were pants.
Yes.
Sarr, hook it. Alozie looking to get it inside. They get to put Ribe on the bench with 4 personal fouls. So Mirkovic is going to be playing the 5 right now against Sanak. Yesufu's back on the floor for the World as well. So Yesufu, Alozie, Ariza. And now a change with Meyer coming in. You look at Ribe on the bench. Meyer is going to replace Alozie. So Meyer, Ariza, Yesufu. Mirkovic and Sarr are the 5 for the World. Acuff stays out there with Cam Boozer, Sanak, and this 2 big lineup. Igansa and Michael Brown.
I like what Mirkovic did in that first half, just finding open areas and finding places where he can score it.
4 to shoot. Ariza drive. Oh, beautiful finish. He got a little magical underneath.
Taj Ariza is a player.
And then gets it done with a block, but a foul is called. He had the crazy swat at the end of the first half and nearly his second one here.
Shot clock winding down, driving the Sanak closeout, and then look at the hang time there, going off the glass. Taj Ariza has shown out tonight. Looks like he might have gotten some contact there to the forehead. Let's see. That block, it looked pretty clean there. Team World couldn't believe it. Michael Brown going to the foul line.
5-star recruit heading to Louisville. Began high school at Orlando Christian Prep in Orlando before overtime elite as a non-pro, and then finishing DME Academy in Daytona Beach. Won the McDonald's All-American 3-point contest, gold medal with Team USA in the U18 AmeriCup. Somebody who's got a massively high ceiling, and Louisville fans excited for what he can bring to a team that certainly took a major step in the right direction this past season.
I like how all these players are trying to convince Nate Ament to come to their schools, and certainly Michael Brown trying to do that for Louisville, and the Duke guys trying to do that for Duke. But Brown with his growth spurt, you know, he could really shoot, and he certainly had burst, but now that he's grown to the size of 6'2", that kind of changes his outlook as a prospect.
And, I mean, this certainly is a nice final selling point for Michael Brown as he went to Louisville. Welcome to the Ville, kid. Shout out Donovan Mitchell for wearing his high school jersey while on the road. Now, if he does that with Nate Ament, is that like the ceiling factor for him? How does that work?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Here's Brown working on Jong. Close it up and in. Count it on the foul.
Wait, let him know about it too. Michael Brown, though, showing off that burst and the shiftiness. That handle, he was quiet in the first half, but these Team USA guards have found the rhythm here in the second.
First lead for the U.S. since it was 17-16, and yeah,
Jong heard about it.
Well, I mean, look, Jong was loud and energetic in the first half, so I'm sure that plenty of the United States side took note of that.
No question.
We'll see if Jong has his get back. 3-point U.S. lead, approaching the midway point of the third. Sarr stops, looking to get inside, and the foul's going to be called on Sanak. as Mirkovic took a shot to the face.
Team World has to kind of figure out where they're going to go for some offense. Taj Ariza gave them a little bit of juice there, but you can see there with that offhand. Now Mirkovic is selling it pretty good, but for Cenac, you start wrapping it like that. An official's going to see that.
Amenya's going to check in for Cenac, who just picked up his 3rd foul. Cam Boozer staying in there. Co-MVP of McDonald's All-American game, and comes away with a steal. Oh, behind the back, Boozer, Dibonsa to the rim. He's fouled.
A.J. Dibonsa, if you're there and he's in transition, you better get ready to go for the ride, because he's just going to take you with him. How about this play from Cam Boozer? First the defense, then the handle. And for Meyer, it's just like you're just going right there with him. You're at his mercy.
So Dibonsa back to the free throw line. He had those 10 first-quarter points, only 5 since, including that free throw. So he's now 6 for 6 at the charity stripe.
In a game like this, you're just amazed at how far strength and conditioning has come for high school athletes, because these guys don't look like they're in high school.
What did you look like at their age?
I was 6'8", 185 pounds. I was so thin.
And how many of those pounds were shorts?
Yeah, I mean, great question. But I had never lifted weights, you know, like that's the thing. And now it's a part of it.
Yesufu out of control and a turnover. USA has taken control in this 3rd quarter.
Team USA's defense and their effort has been so much better in this 2nd half.
Now McKenny's going to check back in for the U.S. And at what point does Sean Abayev get another opportunity? He came in the game and just lit up with back-to-back threes, including a 4-point play in the first half.
That's what he does. I mean, he is a microwave-like scorer.
Boozer bounce it. Dibonsa facing against Yesufu. They have been going at each other all night, and Dibonsa wins this battle. A chance for 3.
Yesufu got him on the way up, but that's a pro move. And that's just Dibonsa sizing you up, get the jab series going, a little shot fake, and there was some contact as he lets it go.
It's almost unfair with the size skill combination that he possesses. 6'9".
He's one of the best prospects that we've ever seen.
Yes.
You know, that's not hyperbole.
He had 21 points at this Hoop Summit last year, representing Congo and Jamaica. He's got 19 points here.
Tough break for Team World to lose him.
Yeah. And then pokes it away from Ariza. Brown with Ariza trying to recover defensively. He'll pull. Short. Mirkovic looking up the floor.
What a pass.
Hook it. Lob it. Ariza was blocked, but a foul. That was dangerous. Ariza appears to be okay. He had his feet taken out from under him.
Passing. First from Mirkovic to just kind of lob this up, and then Pitt throws it up there. They called it, I think, an offensive foul.
They did. They called the offensive foul against the Team World on the topple over from. I don't think it was Ariza necessarily.
No, I think it was.
Must have been on the pass.
Yeah, I believe so.
Take another look at it. So it has to be on Jayon Pitt right here. Yeah, that's what they call it.
You don't see that in an all-star setting all that often.
You just don't see a lot of people take charges.
No.
But again, this isn't your typical all-star game.
No, it's not.
Bogey Markovic will check back in. So Markovic and Mirkovic on the floor. I appreciate Marshall Cho for putting us through that. Boozer extends it to 9.
The good news is that you have to say it first, and then I can just kind of like book it.
Oh yeah, it just make you sound real smart.
Yeah, like as you
Such
maybe
a good teammate.
We'll see if you make mistakes, but then I can clean this up here.
Oh, I'm going to be locked in after you just said that. Cam Boozer now with a double-double. He had 10 rebounds in the first half alone. Meyer out there. Screen from Markovic. Looking for him. Taken away again. Amenya up ahead. Brown attacking. And a foul. Alozier was there defensively. Brown took a spill and is helped up as he makes his way to the charity stripe.
How good has Cam Boozer been with his pick-and-roll defense here in this second half? I mean, he has certainly been disruptive with those active hands. These turnovers, Team World only 3 in the first half. They now have 6 here in the third quarter. Those numbers have racked up, and this U.S. team is so athletic. You cannot turn the ball over and allow them to get out in the open floor.
How about the level that's being played on the floor right now? You forget as you're watching them go up and down that these are 17 and 18-year-olds. It's almost hard to believe given the way they've played, and a 13-0 run for Team USA. Looking to take a 12-point lead here.
Well, no, we talked about the strength and conditioning aspect, but it's also the skill level. The way that these guys play now and train, and just the way that everything is. They make shots that my high school coach would be like, just come over here and sit next to me. Just come on and take a seat, dog.
It's a little bit more acceptable. And right now, Team USA, the beneficiary, up by a dozen, under 4 to play in the third. Back here in Portland, some stars from the early game. USA beating the world on the women's side. Sienna Betts, Jazzy Davidson, local product, really did work for the United States then. And in this third quarter, it's been all U.S. with Dibonsa and Boozer.
Well, the U.S. has flexed their muscles here, 28-7 in the third quarter. But the best players have played like the best players. Dibonsa now with 19 points, and Cam Boozer just stuffing his stat sheet. 11 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Pick and roll defense on display. Dibonsa with the shot making that we've come to expect from him. The third quarter has been a totally different story.
It very much is reminiscent for last year's game, which was pretty close all the way through until the fourth quarter, in which the U.S. outscored the world 30-15. And in the second half overall, 56-35. This one right now, 28-7 in this third quarter. Sarr back on the floor. Guarded by Caden Boozer. Lost him momentarily with 5 on the clock. Shake, bake, drive, float, and he banks it home.
Dame Sarr really has ability here. And that's that shake I talked about in the first half. You don't always see that from guys that grow up playing overseas. He certainly has that handle there, and he likes to get his game on.
Now he's on an island with Dibonsa. Not where you want to find yourself.
His game on, too.
McKennie doesn't get the 3. And then the rebound going the other way, and the knockout from Homenya.
Got to try to lock in here to Dame Sarr. He wants to shake and bake with that crossover. He gets some space. Pretty contested shot. Just better offense. Some of these guys on Team World that get opportunities at the EuroLeague level, that is high-level basketball.
Ariza, back it out. Dancing, knock away. Boozer.
Ariza definitely likes to kind of shake and bake with you, too. He's looking to get his game on and try to get you off balance.
And for the first time in this third quarter, Kiyan Anthony is going to check in for Taj Ariza. So Anthony out there along with Markovic, Mirkovic, Sarr, and Alozier. And Anthony's pass batted. Alozier, 10 to shoot. Screen, Markovic, Alozier, stripped. Boozer so active defensively. Caden has come in and just provided a defensive spark.
That's what he does. And honestly, both of the Boozers have been outstanding in this third quarter defensively.
Cam Boozer rattles home the triple.
How do you guard Boozer? You switch it, he takes you inside. If you're in the drop, he picks and pops. I don't know what you do with him.
He's also the loudest guy on the floor right now. He's been so vocal.
No question.
Sarr, hook it. Mirkovic in and out. Markovic couldn't get it. Alozier does. Couldn't finish. And the rebound finally scooped up. Nope. Markovic.
What a pass.
From his backside. And a reload. Anthony. Markovic, 5 to shoot. And a foul to bail him out on McKennie.
Well, this is more of what we expected from this U.S. team. Ultra talented. Caden Boozer just staying in the play. Never quit on it. Gets right back in. Then Trey McKennie setting the table. He drags that pick and roll out. End up popping it. Cam Boozer knows exactly what to do with that.
And he celebrated the bucket like he was John.
His celebrations in the first half were
We need more. We need more.
They get him back in the game so he can light a spark.
Spark some
Team World
energy.
needs it.
Anthony with 8 to shoot. Dibonsa all over him. 3 ball, bottom.
Markovic has a lot of ability. Certainly at 6'11", that skill set. Played a little bit for the Serbian national team.
And they will count the bucket and the foul. McKinney, a bulldozer.
That's what Michigan fans have to look forward to. I'm sure Dame Sarr is like, well, what would you like me to do here, as he just gets shouldered into the ground. Referee kind of looked like a little indecisive there on the call. But if I'm Dame Sarr, I'd be like, what would you like me to do?
And Luka Burns is giving her explanation to Marshall Cho over on the world sideline as Sarr sits and Sean Abayev comes back in with 1:29 to play in this third.
He is going to look to get buckets. Every time I've seen him play, Under Armour All-American game, any other time, and he is hunting shots, and rightfully so.
Change with Jalen Harrelson checking in for McKinney after the free throw. It's a 13-point Team USA lead. There's been 5 lead changes, 7 ties, and both teams have led by at least a dozen. Anthony gets a screen from Markovic. 10 to shoot. Cayenne, leave it. Mirkovic, 7 to shoot. Outside, looking for Markovic, taken away, and it's showtime for Dibonsa. AJ, big time finish.
It looks so easy for AJ Dibonsa. Like, just in terms of the way he even got back in that play. So much skill, so much athleticism.
Markovic, another 3. 2 for 1 opportunity taken by the World with just a 18-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Boozer, shimmy shake. Boozer aggressive, missed it. Got his own rebound. In traffic, couple of pumps, missed it again. He's going to stick with the play. And perfect defense from Team World.
Team World hung in there. Quite the move from Boozer, but couldn't get the finish to go.
Anthony's triple. Too strong. And Amenya claims the board. 10 seconds remaining in this third quarter that's been dominated by Team USA. 6 seconds left. Dibonsa is going to be the man to do it. Dibonsa, step back at the horn, and he's fouled. He plays with a smile, and given the way he's playing, why not?
You get him to be in the open floor. Athletically, he's as good as anybody. A little windmill here, but then the sprint back. It just looks so easy for him. And Abayev, I think now, granted, Abayev saying he kicked that leg out. The old Reggie Miller play.
And I think Abayev is saying what former Blazer Rasheed Wallace would say.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie.
Yes, I believe so. That was said a few times in this building.
Yes, it was. But Dibonsa's matched his total from last year's game, and now he's surpassed it with 22 points. 1.4 seconds left. And there's no way Alozier is going to get a shot off, so that's how the third comes to a close. It was all USA in that third quarter as they lead 81-68, looking for another victory for the red, white, and blue with 1 quarter to play. The 2025 Nike Hoop Summit is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. The Boozer brothers, 2 of the highest ranked recruits in the country for good reason, and they're showing out so far tonight.
Well, the winning play is a big part of why the U.S. wins that third quarter, 37-15. And for Caden Boozer, only 4 points, but a lot of great defense. That's led to some good offense as well. Cam Boozer having quite the game himself. 14 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Those 2 right there, a big part of the U.S.'s success in the third.
Abayev's going to stay on the floor for the World, along with Sarr, Alozier, Markovic, and Rye playing with 4 personal fouls. That could have been a kick ball. Instead, Markovic is open, can't hit the 3, rebound swiped down, and that's a new USA Hoop Summit record. 15 rebounds for Cam Boozer, breaking Bol Bol's 14 from 2018. Now he spins in the paint, spray it out. His former Duke teammate Amenya can't hit the 3. The leak out. And Abayev says, I'll take that for 2.
A little bit of a flat tire there. I thought Abayev was going to hammer that. so much of that third quarter was the U.S. team getting out in transition and taking advantage. And there, Team World able to find that.
Acuff's going to get 2 free throws as he was hit on the way up. It'll be Alozier.
The World has fouled jump shooters way too often in this game. Those mid-range jumpers, it's not that Darius Acuff can't make them, because he can. He's a really talented player, #1 point guard in the class. But you got to make him just make a shot there. You can't bail him out and put him at the foul line.
So Cam Boozer's going to sit as Sanak comes back in, was on the bench with some foul trouble. Take a look at the list that he now joins of record holders at the Nike Hoop Summit. Yeah, I was going to say.
One of the all-time great Timberwolves right there.
Well, you know, Robbie Hummel would know, of all people.
Well, when you win 16 games with a franchise, you get to see really what the franchise is made of in a season.
Second free throw did go down to make it a 13-point game. Oh, what a spin inside for Alozier, and he's going to get 2. Team USA didn't agree.
Alozier, just the burst that he's got, man. And it's certainly still improving as a jump shooter, but getting downhill and using that burst, he can do that.
And Sanak just picked up his 4th personal. So Malachi Marino, who hasn't played a ton, going to get some run here with 9:05 to play.
Marino had just a monster senior season. Great Crossing High School in Kentucky, averaged 21 and 14, had 37 double-doubles in 39 games, winning the state championship for the first time in that high school's history. So quite the year for them.
#3 center in the country, 7'1" wingspan. Georgetown, Kentucky is less than 20 miles away from the University of Kentucky, where he'll be playing next year.
And the thing is, too, in a game like this, there's so much talent on both teams, really, but especially on the U.S. Like, Jalen Harrelson is a big-time player, but you just don't get that much opportunity because Cam Boozer is getting his and Dibonsa's getting his. And certainly, we're going to see a lot of guys that play in this game that are big-time players in college in the next couple years.
Acuff with a tip. Now Sarr right down the lane. Had it. I'm not sure, was it blocked or was it just an alter? Yes. Either way, impressive defense. Now a 5-on-4, and Dibonsa makes the defense pay. That was sweet.
That is NBA. That's what that is. You don't see dudes in college making moves like that.
He is so highly touted on his way to BYU. He said playing for Kevin Young and what he's done for development, having coached one of his favorite players in Kevin Durant, a big factor in his decision to go. BYU is building something big time. Talk about big time scoring ability. Abayev with another bucket.
Well, and NIL is definitely, we would be naive to say it's not a factor there. But the NBA aspect of everyone from the head coach to the trainers.
It's got blocked by the rim. Numbers if they hurry. Lob it up. Knocked away. Ribe got a hand on it. Abayev. Is this one going up?
Sure. We knew that answer. If you've watched him play before, you knew that was going up.
Acuff at the controls. Yesufu and Meyer will check in next dead ball for the World. Boozer and Johnson for the U.S. Hook it. Hamenya. Weak side rebound pulled in by Markovic. Markovic put it on the deck. Bounce it. Alozier. Attack and foul.
A.J. Dibonsa, there's just not many guys his age that are making plays like this. Get to that spin, but then that fade, man, that is next level stuff. A little point there to Carmelo Anthony, who made plenty of shots like that over the course of his lifetime.
That one felt Ace Bailey-like, what he did all year at Rutgers, the tough buckets, using his length to his advantage. Melo, who is just such an assassin in the mid-range, especially using his physicality.
Well, Ace Bailey is an interesting kind of comparison for Dibonsa in the sense of the tough shot-making gene.
And certainly the body type to a certain degree.
They're similar body types, but different players. But I do think that when you're looking at the way that Bailey was able to make some shots, I saw him in Indiana where he goes for 39. It's like, oh my God. Oh, you were there too.
Yeah.
We were both there.
I was waiting for you to say, wait a second, we did that game together.
You know, when you do 84 games, they start to run together.
Who's counting, dude? Get it up. Oh! Watch your head! Markovic! Leaving is Markovic.
A foul, too. Team World has found some opportunities in the open floor here in this fourth quarter.
Johnson, open, 3-ball, way too strong. Marino saved it. Markovic claims it. Looking to run with numbers. Alozier, lob it. Yesufu, a little too high. Markovic does have it on the regain. Skip it. Alozier, pump, step back, 3-ball, short. Couple of chances there, but the World couldn't get it back to single digits. 6 minutes to play. Still plenty of time for the World to make a run, as we've seen they're more than capable of doing.
Both teams are shooting like 0% on transition lobs, so
yeah,
we haven't seen those complete.
That hasn't been a high-quality look so far in this one.
Markovic just running the floor, and Jasper Johnson coming to block it. Better go aggressively. Markovic wanted the and one. Yeah, he was not happy with the no call.
Acuff's 3-ball is good.
Acuff is going to be a really good point guard for John Calipari. Just brings so much to the table.
Just fits what he's recruited in the past.
But it's the power to get downhill, but also some of the shot making, and just a very complete point guard.
We also just think about because I think a lot of people at this point would say, oh, well, Acuff 6'2", maybe a little undersized and higher, can't get the bounce. But think about what he's done with some undersized guards like Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickly. He's had elite, I mean, then you go incredibly undersized Tyler Ulis and what he meant at Kentucky. He's had that prototype in the past, and he's had great success.
Well, it's like Bruce Pearl as well. He's had small point guards and thrived with them.
We saw what Pettiford meant to that team this year. But transition block again, this time Alozier. Reload, Boozer, ball fake, and bams it home.
You watch Cam Boozer in this game, you figure out pretty quickly why he's won as much as he has in his high school career.
Winning mentality, winning plays go a long way, and both the Boozer twins have shown that here tonight. Yesufu had the huge first half, been somewhat quiet in the second. The follow from Ride.
Well, it seemed like 4 U.S. players came over to contest that shot, and there's just nobody left to block out.
Acuff just gets it across. Dibonsa staying on the floor with 24 points. It's a plus 24 in the box score as well. Brown, drive, hook, Acuff, 3-ball. And the uncontested board, Alozier.
World going 2-3 zone there. A mix-up on the defense.
Markovic thought about it. Alozier drives, hangs, and he's fouled. Ribe wanted that basketball. Instead, it's going to be free throws with just under 4 to play. But we've had some highlights here in this second half.
And Cam Boozer putting it on the floor and just continues to make winning play after winning play.
Upset famous NBA twins get it done at a high level. Only a couple here with Harvey and Horace Grant. Of course, Jason and Jaron Collins playing for a long time. Couple of other Stanford twins with Brooke and Robin Lopez. Of course, Marcus and Markieff. Markieff still playing now back with the Lakers. And the most recent set, Amen and Asar Thompson, who have taken the NBA by storm. Amen is in the running at this point for Defensive Player of the Year. And now you've got these two guys. Talk about what they've done defensively here tonight. Looks like they're going to be some high-quality defenders for the Duke Blue Devils next year. And of course, the Harrison twins, another example, the Ivisic twins. We've seen it across college basketball, and the Boozers are ready to take their game to that next level.
Well, it's got to be awesome to get to continue on and play with a brother or a twin, and all those examples. But there's no doubt that Duke is getting winning players when they get the Boozers on campus.
To your point, a lot of times they'll play together in college. A lot of the twins that we showed during that pack certainly did. The Bonsa turns it over on the travel. Then you have a case like the Champagnes, who go to 2 different schools. They end up at 2 different NBA teams and never quite get the opportunity, one by their own accord, and then at the NBA level as well.
I remember hearing with the Morris twins that it was a real challenge for them.
It was, that
when
first year.
When they first started, because they'd never really been away from one another.
Yesufu going with a Ja Morant celebration after that step-back 3.
Better be careful there.
Yes, you do.
I don't know if you can get fined in this game, but
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it
the
works.
governing body of this.
Brown open, can't hit the three. This is still very much available for Team World. Just a 9-point game. Yesufu running the floor. Instead, it's going to be Sarr going right to the rack. And a timeout called by Team USA. And Marshall Cho is fired up on the Team World. 5 immersive worlds, 1 amazing theme park. Beyond anything you've experienced before, explore the thrills of Universal Epic Universe. Opening May 22nd at Universal Orlando Resort. Back here in Portland, a potential epic comeback for Team World, as Tunde Yesufu has been a big reason why. Had the impressive first half and now has hit a couple of big shots in this second half, and especially in this fourth quarter. Yesufu's up to 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting, and the defensive pressure is really the big key. Can they continue to force some turnovers and misses on this end of the floor?
The U.S. turned it up in the third quarter, but they've kind of turned it back down here in the fourth. And it's a little bit casual, some turnovers, some open runouts for Team World. And like you said, this game is very much still in the balance.
So foul's going to go against Pitt, and that's going to be number 4. Dibonsa inbound and a takeaway. Leak out. Sarr ahead of the pack. Long strides, and he's fouled. And they're going to count the bucket. Now that is interesting.
Well, I thought you could do that.
You can do that based on FIBA rules. The question is whether or not there was other interference with someone grabbing the net.
Yeah.
In terms of hitting it off of the rim, you're allowed to knock it off the rim, but was the net grabbed? Doesn't look like it was.
No, it does not.
Take another look here.
Because this is the beauty of the Euro rule, that you can just swipe it off.
And that's what Cam Boozer's trying to say, that he did it very much within the FIBA rules. But
when for the offensive player, it's the same thing. You're going up there to try to tip dunk that thing and make sure that nobody can swipe it off.
And the 3-point play makes it a 4-point game. It's a 12-0 run for Team World to get this to 2 possessions.
Has to handle the basketball better. These turnovers have fueled this run.
Amenya leave it for Acuff. This is the guy you want with the basketball in his hands. The screen from Dibonsa. Pick and pop. Dibonsa, ball fake, nearly taken away. Acuff, that's a travel. And they do blow the whistle.
How about Marshall Cho dialing up the press full court to force some turnovers and then going to the 2-3 zone? Give credit to Team World for scrambling around, and Acuff does leave his feet there and ends up traveling.
Alozier gets rid of it. Yesufu, not shy. Bottom! Big time 3!
It looked like the U.S. was on cruise control home, and now this has just been a heck of a run by Team World. And A.J. Dibonsa and certainly Cam Boozer are going to have to be the guys to get this back on track.
Yesufu feeling himself now. Approaching 2 minutes to play in a 1-point game. Acuff, floater, got it. Big bucket for Acuff.
There's 2 on the ball. The right play probably was to throw it behind you to the pick and pop, but what a heck of a play by Darius Acuff to stop the bleeding.
Another 3 for the tie. Sarr's there for the offensive rebound, 10 to shoot. Leave it back for him. Sarr will try. It's blocked, and a foul on Dibonsa. 3 free throws coming for Sarr. It looked like Dibonsa got ball first.
I thought the same thing, and I thought Sarr maybe kicked that leg out, so the contact underneath. Let's see if he does. Yeah, he kicks that leg. That was a clean block up top.
A huge call.
That's the Reggie Miller special again. It's that leg kick.
So Markovic is going to check back in. Sarr is going to have an opportunity to tie the game at the free throw line. And what a performance for Sarr, who, again, made the decision that he needed to be here, showcase his skills on this stage. It looks like they're going to go to the monitor. At least block him. Burns is going to go to the monitor. And I'm assuming to look to see whether or not it's a 2 or a 3, but it was clearly behind the line. Not even close. And yeah, that was a quick review. It is 3 free throws.
I don't think it was really close on whether it was a foul or not either.
So Dame Sarr with a chance to tie the game. He mentioned showing off his shooting ability, especially from three-point range, but at the free throw line as well, as being one of the moments and areas of his game that he's worked to improve and wanted to showcase in this game.
Well, good for him to come over here after what he has certainly sacrificed with his own pro career. Who knows what will happen with Barcelona going forward. But this is a guy that just a couple weeks ago had 13 against Milan in a EuroLeague game. He's got a lot of ability, but for him to come over here and deal with what he's dealt with and now play well, good for him.
3 pressure clutch free throws to tie the game. Couple of weak passes. Can they get it across in time? Acuff just barely does. Dibonsa extra. Boozer corner. 3-ball. He laces it.
That was a no-doubter for Cam Boozer. Because of his pedigree, because of the way that he's won in his career. Good extra pass from Dibonsa, but Cam Boozer was making that.
Yesufu on the attack. Push it off. Amenya treks down the long board. 1:10 to play. USA clinging to a 3-point lead. Acuff at the controls. Amenya, Yesufu aggressive defensively. Back to Acuff. Alozier steps up, 4 to shoot. Acuff through the double, had it ripped. Yesufu all alone for the Deuce. The swipe and slam gets it to a 1-point game.
Was about as good as you could do it there as a help defender. Yesufu being to the ball and just rips him on the dribble drive.
Just a 21-second difference, shot clock and game clock. 10 to shoot now for Acuff. The world needs one more stop. Boozer just hit a huge 3. Does he have another one in him? Knocked out of his hands. It's loose. He put it up from the deck, missed it. Rebound, Yesufu, 20 seconds left with a chance to win the game. Yesufu spins, nearly had it knocked away, puts it up, couldn't bank it home. Rebound, U.S. has it, and a foul. McKinney's gonna go. Just the 3rd team foul against the world.
The U.S. handling the pressure on this possession here. Looking up the floor, you find Dibonsa. Dibonsa makes the extra pass. Cam Boozer makes the biggest shot of the game. You got Darius Acuff getting ripped here. Yesufu taking this 94 feet for the slam. But back and forth action. It wasn't a great possession, though, Noah, for Team World. Yesufu just, you didn't have to force the issue. Shot clock is off. You know, set your offense and get what you want. But he gets himself in trouble by getting him to that 15-foot range and just forces up a tough one.
So Team World still with another foul to give. 9.1 seconds left. Here's the force from Yesufu.
You know, the initial surge, all right, I got it, but you don't have to take this shot at this moment. It's contested, it's off balance. You can get a better look than that.
So now 9.1 seconds left. They're going to be ultra aggressive on this inbound with the extra foul to play with, and then you've got to get them to the free throw line if you don't have it.
And if Team USA makes both foul shots, assuming that Team World doesn't get that steal, does the U.S. team foul?
I mean, these are all legitimate conversations.
Yeah,
of course,
it's got to be being discussed right now.
In theory, you say it's an all-star game, but also in theory, both of these coaches are trying to showcase their coaching ability.
Well, and there's a lot of pride.
And
Team USA has won a lot of these in a row.
Last Team World win was 2018. Game wasn't played in 2020 or 2021, but 19, 22, 23, 24 were all U.S. victories. The world has put up 90-plus points for the first time in a decade in this game. Tunde Yesufu has 19 points. Dame Sarr has 17 points. Abayev in just 7 minutes and 50 seconds has 11 points off the bench. and it's just a 1-point game. So 9.1 seconds left. It is going to be the group that they've mostly ridden with to this point, although Jayon Pitt will check in. He's playing with 4 fouls. Markovic, Pitt, Sarr, Yesufu, and Alozie against Cam Boozer, McKennie, who will inbound, Acuff, Brown, and DiBonsa. Get it in, and the quick foul given by Yesufu.
Team World was not really matched up. That was like a zone press, and that's the bonus yet, so they're going to have to do it again. But you'd think you'd be in full-out denial here, selling out for a steal.
Kenny this time will inbound in front of his own bench, and they're going to foul one of the winningest players in high school basketball history, Cam Boozer, to send him to the line.
I just think that's 2 opportunities thrown away where you could potentially get a steal and maybe even an easy look for yourself.
So Marshall Cho deciding instead send him to the line. Boozer this season in his senior year shot 81% at the charity stripe. He's 3 for 3 so far tonight. 101 career double-doubles over 4 high school seasons. Just nails.
Well, this is where it needs to be talked out for the U.S. team. If this goes in, what's the plan?
Team World does have 1 timeout left, as does the U.S., neither with a foul to give, and the U.S. has the possession arrow. And they'll knock that one away. It's a 2-point game. Timeout called with 5.6 seconds left.
Markovic, I think, thought they called a goaltend and just lost it on the ref.
And let's see. It will be world basketball, but take another look here.
Well, you see this a lot overseas, and, you know, he does hit the rim fairly decently there. He whiffs on the ball, but you can see how upset he was.
You don't think he got a fingertip on that basketball? It looked like he got just enough of a fingertip.
I don't know. I thought maybe he whiffed.
5.6 seconds left, and they're going to get the teams back on the court here. So Jong is out there for the World, along with Abayev, Alozie, Yesufu, and the inbounder is Sarr. So they're going to get a 3-point shooting lineup on the court. Brown stays out there defensively for the U.S. Cam Boozer, McKennie, Acuff, and DiBonsa. DiBonsa's face guarding. He's trying to get in the huddle, in the Team World huddle. He wants to win this game.
The funny thing is that there's an official at the monitor, so like the ball is not even close to be. Those guys are.
5.6 seconds. Team World with a chance to send it to OT or win it in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, there was a question about whether a timeout was called there. This is a very chaotic ending.
There's no subs that were allowed because the timeout wasn't given. So they have to go with the 5 that were on the floor. That's what's going to happen here. So now Markovic is going to be the one to inbound for the World. 5.6 seconds left. It's Yesufu. 4 seconds left. Yesufu weaving his way through to the rim. He scores! Ties it with .6. Inbound DiBonsa for the win. And it's short. We will go to overtime in the 2025 Nike Hoop Summit.
Well, it's just Yesufu going 94 feet. You never square the ball handler up. What a take. You're not going to help off because you don't want to give up the 3. And Yesufu wisely getting to the rim and making a monster play.
He has been the star for Team World all night in a huge bucket. Gives him 21 points on the evening, and he has sent, for the first time in Nike Hoop Summit history, a game to overtime.
Well, credit Team World because they turned over Team USA. They upped the tempo. They got some easy baskets. In that third quarter, they just had nothing going their way, but a totally different story the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Erased a 16-point deficit, and we've got bonus basketball next. 5 minutes on the clock here in Portland in the 26th playing of the Nike Hoop Summit. And Tunde Yesufu just went the length of the floor in the final 5 seconds of regulation to tie the game with a layup to beat the buzzer. 98 apiece. U.S. led by as many as 16 points after a 37-15 third quarter, only for the World to outscore them 30-17 in the fourth quarter. Now there's some confusion now as to whether or not it's a jump or USA basketball. And it's a jump.
I think it's going to change.
I think you're correct. Maybe not.
Well, no, there's
it's a lot of firsts.
I think it will change because Sean Ford he's going to make a change.
You can see him up on his feet and really pleading his case. And yep, finally. Maybe? No? Yes? No? Maybe so? Who has the answer? You don't have the answer, Sway. And yes, it has changed. So USA basketball to start overtime. McKennie stays on the floor, and he'll get it in for Acuff. Guarded closely by Sarr, who played a pivotal role in that comeback towards the end of the fourth. Acuff off the screen, lob it inside. Oh, big finish for Boozer.
That's a heck of a way to beat the 2-3 zone right there. Just screen the top with the ball screen, get downhill, and throw it up for Boozer to go get it.
Alozier, lob it. Yesufu. Physical, too strong. Rebound, scooped up. Acuff. Oh, Yesufu with a hustle, knocks it out of bounds.
They're going to like Yesufu a lot in Waco next year. There's no doubt. Here's that ball screen. You get downhill, you get that big stepping up with Ribe there, and then you just throw it up and let Cam Boozer do the rest.
Look at his stat line. 20 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals.
It looked like Dibonsa was a lock for MVP, assuming the U.S. wins, but Cam Boozer has made quite the case himself.
And Acuff has come alive in the second half as he knocks down that triple. So 5 quick points from the U.S. to start overtime. Sarr, stop on a dime. Yesufu rejects the screen, puts the head down, keeps the head up. Swing it. Ribe bumped. No whistle. Spins. Fades. Short. Perfect defense by Boozer. Now it's Dibonsa. Pulls. A little bit off. Dibonsa with 24 points. The world led by Yesufu with his 21. 17 from Sarr, 11 from Ribe, and 11 from Markovic, 11 from Abayev. Markovic, bounce it. Yesufu, back down. 2, physical for 2.
Well, it's not like Trey McKinney isn't a physical defender in himself. I thought the last possession, McKinney won the battle, but here you go right back to it. Yesufu is just going to keep coming at you. There's that 2-3 zone. If I'm the U.S., I'm getting right back to that ball screen, letting Darius Acuff get downhill.
Acuff dancing. Swing. Ball fake. Brown. Short.
The U.S. was just a little bit late to get into any type of offense on that possession.
Sarr will load up the 3. Ribe, right position, just couldn't squeeze it. Dibonsa didn't see Acuff streaking down the floor. 2.5 to play in overtime. McKennie for 3.
Trey McKinney has had a really nice game. For a guy that was added to this thing late, he has played a big part in what Team USA has done.
Replaced Koa Pete, Arizona commit. On the steal, Acuff all alone. And a timeout call by Marshall Cho with 2:12 to play here in OT.
Well, Trey McKinney, a late addition, but 5 of 7 from the field, has 13 points, has been tasked with being guarding Tunde Yesufu, but a monster shot here in overtime. Trey McKinney, good addition for Team USA, and this guy right here has been dynamite all game long. Cam Boozer showing off the skill set. He can drive it. He can shoot it from three. Defensively, he has been a force. He's been on the offensive glass. He can score with his back to the basket. He really can do everything. He's just one of those guys, does everything well, winning player. Cam Boozer putting it all together tonight, just like he has over the course of his high school career.
The Team USA Nike Hoop Summit record, 15 rebounds in this game. The overall record is actually Charles Bassey in 2018 had 16 boards for Team World, so he's one off of tying that. And Boozer has stuffed the stat sheet overall. It's an 8-point Team USA lead, 8-2 start here in overtime, but we saw no lead is safe right now against Team World after they trailed by 16 points and stormed all the way back to force the extra session.
Well, no, some of that is on Team USA as well, because just the casual nature that they really played the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter with. They let Team World get out in transition. They let them get their head up. They turn the ball over. There's got to be some maturity here with the last 2-12 to finish this one out. I believe there's some goofy movie playing over there.
Are you locked into that documentary?
No, is there one coming out?
Yeah, about the Goofy movie, yes.
I will definitely watch. That's one of the great animated Disney films of the 90s.
It is, and it's not the mockumentary that the show Atlanta did either. It's a real documentary.
I look forward to this. Powerline is a beast.
Agreed. Agreed. And I'm with you. It would probably rank in the top 3.
Yeah, I'd love it.
You're putting it top 1?
No, top 3 is good. I can go with that.
Approaching 2 minutes to play in overtime.
Didn't think we'd be talking about that with 2 to go.
Now, listen, I didn't think it would be 2 to go in overtime. So here we are in what has been a really fun game. And then Yesufu gets ripped. McKennie has been a difference maker here in OT.
Just so versatile. Defensively, he's going to give you a lot of options in the way he can guard and the way he scores it too. Good player.
3 ball and a foul. Another jump shooter is fouled, and Brown looks like he's a little slow to get up right in front of Carmelo Anthony. Let's take a look. Yesufu, yeah, that's the landing space.
You do get into the landing space.
Dangerous play. Good to see Michael Brown get up, no problem. Head to the free throw line. He'll shoot 3. Push this into double digits with 1:46 left. The U.S. now 26 of 32 at the free throw line. World 23 of 30. Brown has played 22 minutes. Now up to 8 points despite shooting 1 for 9 from the floor. He's 0 for 7 from 3. Two out of 3, 10-point game. Myers back in there. That's a screen from Markovic. Meyer surveys, shovel, Alozier, bounce it. Oh, give and go, Alozier, and a bump is going to be called on the pass. 2 free throws incoming for Ikenna Alozier.
We've heard how skilled Markovic is all week long, and that's been shown tonight. Good passer right there, fundamental give and go.
Back to 9. Alozier, MVP of the Basketball Without Borders Global Camp at All-Star Weekend this year. 7 points, 6.5 assists, a little bit of everything, but he misses the second. Keeps this at 9. Approaching 1:20 to play in overtime. Pressure back ramped up, and McKennie buries the defense.
Trey McKennie's been awesome tonight on both ends.
Wolverines fans have a good one to look forward to as Markovic banks one home.
I'm excited to have a two-way player that's a shot maker, 3-and-D type guy that can bring a real level of physicality to your team. He's got a body on him at 6'4", 225, and he's made shots tonight. He's taken on Tunde Yesufu and been a plus defensively.
He is the 24th McDonald's All-American to play then at Michigan after the fact. Two-time Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year, and more free throws now for Brown.
How cool for him, Noah, to get to go to the same school that his grandparents went to.
Yep.
Grew up a fan of Michigan, and for him to have this type of career, finish it with the McDonald's All-American game, play here in the Nike Hoop Summit, now go to Michigan where his family certainly been there and been fans of. Pretty cool story.
Skip it.
Meyer can pass.
Markovic.
Jeez.
He has been impressive from three-point territory here tonight. And a whistle and a foul, so they're just going to play the foul game with 52.4 seconds left.
Look at this hook pass here, Noah. This is with the left. That is an elite look.
He's had a couple, to your point, with that left in particular. Those are not easy passes to make.
Not. He's a right-handed player.
He has put them on the money. And Brown is just padding his stats at this point. Now up to 12 points, with the majority coming at the free throw line. He's 10 of 11 at the charity stripe.
He's 1 of 9 from the field and 0 for 7 from 3. But it practiced so well.
Yeah.
All the reports over the last 3 and 4 days have been how good Michael Brown has played.
Jong and Ariza check back in for the World as Meyer will sit and Mirkovic will sit. We've got a foul on the catch. Yesufu is going to get 2 free throws.
Didn't want to do that.
Stops the clock with 51.6 seconds remaining in this overtime session. An overtime session in which Team USA has scored 19 points.
The fourth quarter was just a little bit of a change up there. The third quarter, an explosion. Overtime, an explosion. Not so much in the fourth.
Well, USA had 17 points in the total fourth quarter, and they've got 19 here in overtime. Yesufu, what a game. 24 points. Pacing the way on both ends of the floor. Aggressive defensively. Hands in passing lanes. Stripping ball handlers. Get up ahead for Brown. And the foul's given by Ariza.
He was not giving that up.
No,
I don't blame him one bit.
He's building real estate right now at the line. He's got a condo at the stripe. Just calm, cool, and collected as well. Expression has not changed with each trip. Shooting practice. So it looks, barring another crazy miracle, that the United States will win their 5th consecutive Nike Hoop Summit. Team World with a really valiant effort. Kyan Anthony and company, and a nice job again.
He's good at that.
Knocking that off. Markovic. Jong, leave it. Ariza, 40 seconds left. Had it ripped. Brown, more free throws.
You know, it's interesting. When I played overseas, I really, now this is from the offensive perspective, but I would be ultra aggressive at getting in the lane and trying to tip dunk my teammates' misses, even if they might go in.
So you're selfish, is what you're saying.
A little bit there, because you're thinking of getting your own points up.
100%.
And those numbers, they don't say stole it at the line.
No.
You know, if that ball hangs up there, you're thinking, I'm flushing this thing home.
I respect that, and I would do the same thing.
My rookie year, I had a player, his name was Oriel Hunyans, who was like this national team level player, but he was at the end of his career, so he was playing on the team I was on. He told me, do not do that to me ever again. I'm like, okay, Ori, I won't. But everybody else I was doing.
Ariza with a crank. 30.9 seconds left. Throw it into no man's land.
That's what got the U.S. in trouble in the fourth quarter.
Markovic pump, patient. Alozier, Hank. Oh, he was looking for a body, and Ariza hits the 3. What a sequence. They're going to call that a 2. And another foul. Guess who?
This is a vet play by Michael Brown. Get your numbers right here.
This was cruel intentions at the rim.
This would have been so nasty, but Alozier is that type of athlete. He just loses it going up. Otherwise, he's got that.
That's ridiculous.
And you wonder if he has hands that have a hard time palming the ball, because otherwise he is in a perfect spot to hammer that on Cam Boozer.
You know, it's actually shocking how many NBA players can't palm a basketball.
Yeah.
Because you would think that the majority should. It's really less than 50% of the league.
No, it's not as many as you think. You know, it's not like everybody's Michael Jordan where they're waving that thing around and doing whatever they want with it. It's just, it's really hard to complete a play like that if you can't palm it.
That stat line is unbelievable from Michael Brown Jr. Ariza another three. Weak side rebound, and 11.8 seconds left. It'll be someone else finally going to the free throw line with McKinney. He can put this game on ice. Really great effort from Team World, but they're going to come up just a little bit short here in Portland. Great stat line for that man. Cam Boozer, 22 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals in 37 minutes of action. 37 minutes. Dibonsa played 35.
You don't see those types of numbers in a normal All-Star game where they try to kind of mix it up. But this isn't a normal All-Star game.
Correct.
So.
He's all in.
And when no one's on the line, you just have free reign to go in there.
Alozier all the way. We'll see if the World backs off. They will not.
Oh my goodness.
Ariza gives the foul, and a chance for 2 more for McKinney as Ariza just fouled out with his 5th personal. Got a good feeling that we'll see that young man back here in a year.
No doubt.
One of the top 5 recruits in the class of 2026 for a reason. We saw a couple of really impressive plays from him here tonight.
Man, how stacked is the top of the class of 2026 in Southern California? He's the number 4 player in his class, and he's the number 4 player in Cali, and all of them are in Southern Cal.
Iron sharpens iron.
No doubt. A lot of talent there in that class.
One more free throw for McKinney. All window dressing at this point. Markovich. At this point, it's also just a deterrent for the actual shooter. Yesufu off the heel, and that'll do it. Incredible comeback effort from Team World, but they fall short in overtime as the United States wins its 5th straight Nike Hoop Summit, 124-114. A.J. Dibonsa, Cameron Boozer, 2 of the stars of this show as the United States coast through overtime in a dominant effort with 26 points in the extra session.
Well, that's what they were in the second half, kind of the spurtability that they showed, whether it was the 3rd quarter or the overtime session, that they have the type of ability where they can flip that switch and turn it on at any time. Certainly Cam Boozer, fantastic. A.J. Dibonsa showed out what he can do. And how about Trey McKinney? I mean, just a guy that was a late add to the game, made some big shots, some big defensive plays. Michigan's getting a good one there.
Really fun game with a number of highlights, stars in the crowd, and these young men showed why they all belonged here. Nike Hoop Summit again, providing electric moments for the future stars of this game, and the 2 coaches embracing. The win goes to Frank Bennett. Chaminade College Prep's very own, shows his own winning tutelage along with the Boozer twins and that man A.J. Dibonsa, who one-ups himself from a year ago when he played with Team World and scored 21. This year he's with the United States and he scores 24, tying the team high with Darius Acuff, who caught fire in the second half, and the game high with Tunde Yesufu. We'll check in with Jordan Cornette with 2 of today's stars.
2 of today's stars, 2 of the stars of tomorrow, yesterday, every day. I got AJ and Cam here, and Cam, I want to start with you. Game got a little nutty down the stretch. When you guys went to that huddle going into overtime, what was the conversation? Because you were dominant from there.
We said we're going to be the tougher team. You know, USA Basketball, we have the best 12 players in the country. We're going to go out there and show it. The first half, we had a lull. We weren't playing to the best of our abilities, but At halftime, we came out, we talked about being tougher, getting the rebounds, winning the 50-50 balls, and that's what we did second half.
AJ, offensively, second quarter you were kind of quiet, but from there you said, I'm going to take over this game. Was there something looking back on that second quarter where you're like, okay, I got to dial it up a little bit here?
Coach said I wasn't being aggressive enough. So, I mean, I took that, ran with it. You know, I got to be aggressive in the second half, and they were playing off. I took shots I got.
AJ, Cam, pleasure watching you guys, pleasure covering you the last few days. Best of luck moving forward.
I appreciate it.
Big days for both of them. Don't forget, tomorrow on USA and Peacock, it's a doubleheader of Premier League action beginning at 8 a.m. Eastern. For LaChina Robinson, Robbie Hummel, Jordan Cornette, our entire NBC Sports crew. I'm Noah Eagle saying so long from Portland, where you've been watching the 2025 Nike Hoop Summit as Team USA wins their 5th in a row.